from her home by at least 10 men on October 7th. She told her story to Sheryl Sandberg's documentary crew recording these atrocities. We want to warn viewers, even this excerpt of her story is quite disturbing.
I was chained for 3 weeks in Gaza. I was kept in a really dark room without being able to move. And whenever I needed to go and use the bathroom, I needed to ask for permission. His name was Muhammad. He used to sit on the bed in front of me, wearing his shorts, laying down. I remember I couldn't look at him. I was just like looking away and covering myself with the blanket so I won't have to look at him. It made me feel really uncomfortable. He also kept asking me, do I like sex? Do I have sex with my boyfriend? And whenever he talked about it, I just like giggled and say, oh, come on, stop, trying to change the subject. I knew that he's up to something. I knew that something bad is gonna happen. So one day, Muhammad came and gave me women's sanitary pads. He said, dam. When you get your period, after that, you'll take a shower and you'll wash your clothes. And he kept repeating that every couple of times a day. And when I got my period, and the period was just for one day, but I fooled him to think that the period is continuing until I could not lie anymore. He untied me and took me to the kitchen and showed me a pot. And I remember thinking, how can I avoid that? There's nothing I can do.
Sheryl Sandberg, who's been the lead in the new documentary Screams Before Silence, joins me now. Sheryl, Amit is the first hostage to speak out publicly on the sexual abuse she endured in Hamas captivity. Tell us more.
So her story is harrowing. You know, most of the victims of Hamas who experienced sexual abuse, sexual violence on October 7th were killed. But Amit, this is her story, and she has so bravely spoken out. She spoke to the New York Times. She interviewed with us on film, as you just saw, for this documentary. And she tells her story. She was held hostage for 55 days. She was chained to a bed in a dark room for several weeks of that. She was beaten, and she was sexually abused at gunpoint. And that is a terrible thing. And I think one of the reasons she has been brave enough to speak out is she, like so many people, are very worried about what is happening right now to the hostages that still remain in Gaza.